Good morning, children. After enjoying the reading and explanation of the tug of war and Jhalkari, let's move on to poetry. So, what's a poem? What's there in poetry? Why do people love poetry? Or why do the poets write poetry? Through this poetry, the poets make beautiful expression through the words stringed together, stating whatever their heart felt. Here we are going to read about a beautiful poem stating what the real courage is. The poet of this poem is Edgar Albert Guest, or commonly known as Edgar A. Guest. So the name of the poem is Courage, Courage, Courage. So by seeing the title of the poem, we can understand the poem mainly deals with the courage that lies within ourselves. So let us read the poem and comprehend the hidden message that the poet wants to convey us. But before I start to explain the poem, let me give an outline of the poem so that it becomes clear to you what the poem is about. The poet here has explained that courage is long lasting and always remain with us and within us. When a person faces tough times, naturally he or she gives up. But one who decides to become a winner definitely explore and overcome misfortunes, failures, as well as the mishaps of life. So this poem is divided into 4 stanzas, and each stanza tells about each phase of life. So we will start the explanation with the very first stanza. So let us read the poem. When the burden grows heavy and rough is the way. I'm repeating. When the burden grows heavy and rough is the way. When you falter and slip and it isn't your day. That is, the first stanza actually is telling about our childhood. That is when we depend on our parents. When parents, they dream a lot about our future. They want to fulfill their ambitions through us. And in order to fulfill their dreams, in order to uh, make our life a successful one, we had to do a lot of hard work, which we start from the very beginning phase of our life. That is the time from when we start going to school. Okay, now sometimes it may happen that one has to face failure because failure is the pillar of success. We all know that. No one can ever say that I have not seen failure in my life. One has to see the failure in one of the spheres of life. Now, in the first stanza, as we had started, the poet says that when we grow up and start facing challenges, that is, when the burden grows heavy and rough is the way, that is when we start to face the challenges that comes on our way. When you falter and slip and it isn't your day. When we stumble and fall and think that the day is really unlucky for me, or the day is not actually, the day does not belong to me, and your best doesn't measure to what is required. That is when we give our best from our side, but we do not get the result that we desire to have. When you know in your heart that you are fast growing tired, that is, when you face the failure, there will be someone to there to criticize. It may be your parents, it may be your friends, it may be teachers, it may be the neighbors, whoever it is. They will ask for a lot of explanation, and a time will come when you will become tired both physically and mentally for giving the explanations of that why you have failed in this sphere of life. in which you were once a successful one. With the odds all against you, there's one thing to do. That is, call on your courage and see the thing through. That is, so all the odd things that happens around you, you cannot overcome it all of a sudden. What you have to do, you have to gather up the courage that is lying hidden in you. You have to bring it together so that you can stand up and move forward and put all the things in the right way. So this is the first phase of our life, that is our childhood. Now we are moving to the adolescent period. Who battles for victory ventures defeat. Misfortune is something we all have to meet. Take the loss with the grace you would take in the grain. When things go against you, don't whine or complain. Just call on your courage and grin if you can. Though you will fail to succeed, do not fail as a man. See how the beautiful lines he had used, how the beautiful words the poet has used. So, what does he want to convey through this stanza? That is, when a child crosses its childhood and enters adolescence period, the mind of the child gets filled with curiosity and dreams as well as ambitions to do something in life, to achieve success in life, to become a successful man, to establish himself as one of the important personalities of the society. So it's the time when one has to face the world and fight battles. But as we have said earlier, that it's not possible to achieve victory every time. So whatever the loss you have made, you have to accept it gracefully. You have to take lessons from what you have committed wrong, so that learning from these mistakes, you can achieve success in life. Sometimes the situation goes beyond our control. The situation slips out of our hand. We are not able to control it. So we should not keep on crying, or we should not keep on complaining about it. That is, whenever we are unable to achieve anything, we should not go to our parents, or we should not go to our friends, we should not go to the teachers and keep on complaining that, ma'am, please see, father, please see, or my friend, you please notice that we are not able to do this one, because these things will not bring a solution. So we just have to gather up again our courage, bring a smile on our face, which is very important. Why we have to keep the smile on our face? So that even if a situation comes that we may fail in our life, we may fail to achieve what we want to do, but as a human being, we will not fail. We will always have a smile on our face, and we will keep on helping others, though in return we might not get the help back from them. But we should inculcate this habit so that we can establish ourselves at least as a true human being of the society. Now let's move on to the third stanza. Here the poet talks about the middle age, that is the period when we have to struggle a lot in our life in order to provide a better living for ourselves, for our family members, for our parents, and whatever the better we can do for them. So there are dark days and stormy which come to us all, when about us in ruin our hopes seem to fall. But stand to whatever you happen to meet. We must all drink the bitter as well as the sweet. And the test of your courage is, what do you do in the hour when reverses are coming to you? So in this stanza, the poet describes about the middle age when we have a lot of responsibilities in our life. You must have observed that when there is a heavy storm, we have all means often witnessed these heavy storms, cyclones in our life. So the when the storms or these cyclones come, the human settlement almost gets destroyed after it. But after the storm is over, after 4 or 5 days, if we go back to those places to revisit it, what we notice that the families, the people of that human settlement, they start recollecting all the things, all the materials, and make a new beginning of their life. So the same thing happens in our life as well. We also witness several hurdles, several problems that come in the form of cyclones or storms in our life. So, if we can withstand the natural cyclone, if we can overcome the destruction caused by the nature, if we can withstand that one, then why can't we withstand the problems, the hurdles that come in our life? We can also do it. What we have to do? Only we have to gather up the courage within ourselves, and we have to hold patience for the correct time, that we have to wait for that particular time when it would be appropriate for us to do the work, because every time it is not possible for us to taste the sweet aspect of life or always to taste the bitter aspect of life. We have both the aspects of life. So what we can do, that is, we know that behind every bad thing there something good lies in it. So when we are going through a bad phase of our life, when we are going through the difficulties of our life, we should not give up. We should hold our patience. We should gather up the courage that is within us, that we would not fall apart. And with this courage, we can withstand the hurdles, we can overcome it, and at last we can have a beautiful phase of life. Now let's move on to the last stanza. Here we can see it is told, never changed is the battle by curse or regret. Though you whimper and whine, still the end must be made. And who fights a good fight, though he struggle in vain, shall have many a victory to pay for his pain. So take your reverses as part of the plan which God has devised for creating a man. Wow, what beautiful concept he has used. What beautiful words he had used, or how beautifully he had expressed his ideas. See, this is the last stanza, and it tells about the old age when we face problems to help to do the works of our own. Because we have often seen our grandparents, they often face problems to do the works which they once were able to do of their own, but now they have to depend on us or on our parents or on the maids or the house helps so that the works could be done. So it's we who need to take help of the others to get the works completed. But the battle for them has not got over. It's not like that once you have crossed the middle age and you have entered the age of retirement or old age, that means your battle is over, your struggle is over, your fight is over. It's not like that. You have to fight till at that time. From the beginning, you have fought to provide a comfortable life for others, for your parents, for your family, for your children. But now, what you have to do, you have to fight in order to keep yourself fit and healthy. You have to see that what the measures, what the ways you can adopt to keep yourself fit and healthy so that you can survive for longer period. The person who was once successful, that is in the old age, when we reach the period of the old age, We do not reach it after taking birth. So we have to cross several phases of life, then we reach the old age. So in the middle age, when we were successful, or when one was successful, at that time, what the person had gained, it would become meaningless if in the old age the person is not able to hold it properly. So the person who was once successful in gaining all the luxuries of life, but at the old age, when no one is with him, everything seems to have gone in vain. So see, might be you all have grandparents at your home. So what happens? Your grandparents, when they were young, when your parents were of your age, so they have seen their parents struggling. They have seen their parents providing a comfortable life for them. But when your grandparents reach the old age, and if suddenly your parents will opt for a nuclear family, that is, only they want themselves along with their children, and your grandparents would be left behind. So, whatever your grandparents have achieved in his or her middle age, everything would go in vain, because nobody would be there with your grandparents to share those things, to share the happiness, to share the sadness, whatever your grandparents are facing through. Nobody would be there. So it's very important to be with the old people when they need us. So everything you have to plan very carefully, because man is the only creature created by God with the ability to plan. So from when we enter the middle age, from that time, we have to plan all the things very minutely, so that in the old age, we do not have to suffer. This suffering can be out of loneliness, this suffering can be because of the illness, this suffering can be because of many other reasons. So we have to plan everything in such a manner so that in our old age we do not have to face any problem. Our fight, though we have to fight, we have to fight the battle, but it should go in a smooth sailing way. And God has created human beings with the ability to plan everything very minutely, because human being is the only intelligent creature that God has created on this earth. So if we are not utilizing our intelligence in a proper manner, then what is the need of this intelligence? So we have to plan everything very minutely, very scientifically, so that our old age would be very secured. And we can resolve or recollect our courage and resolve the matter and make a new beginning if required. That is, if in the old age also we have to, when we have to fight the battle and a situation may come that everything has got shattered and we have to make a new beginning, we would not be devoid of our courage. The courage should remain with us. The courage is within us, which we have to recollect and we have to regain it so that we can make a new beginning of our life. So you have seen what a beautiful message is conveyed through this poem. The poem is Courage, Courage, Courage. And here we can see what the message the poet wants to convey is very clear. He wants to convey that after being a failure in life, it doesn't mean that the life has come to an end, that we had reached to the full stop of life. Wherever we think that our life has ended, after that there is a new beginning. And this beginning is possible only if we want it, only if we try it from our end. So all we have to do to make a new beginning is to gather the courage and start everything in a fresh manner so that we would be able to achieve success in our life. So this is what the poem deals about. I think, I hope that the explanation would be helpful for you. If so, please do let me know. Again, we will come back with an explanation of the new chapter. Till then, take care. Tata, bye bye.